What's up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. He is the UFC's number 7 ranked welterweight contender, fighting Shavkat Rakhmonov in the co-main event of UFC 310 this Saturday. Love him, hate him. He's certainly undeniable. Ian Machado Garry, how's it going?
I'm great, man. Energy's good. Fight week is upon us, and I'm excited.
Yes, I don't, like I said, we just had a great cameo from your son. It will be in this video, God knows where, but that got me hyped up, put me in a good mood, so thank you for that.
Pond? That's not a pond, that's a pool.
Quite vocal, just like his father.
Yeah, exactly. Look, he's got a pool and the jacuzzi in the background, and he's trying to point it out to you and let you know that Leo's living a good life. I'm living a good life.
Nate, you're taking on Shavkat, 18 finishes in 18 fights. I mean, talk about an offensive force. And so I'm very relieved to see that you found yourself a training partner that can bring out that same level of ruthlessness. Tell me a little bit about what it was like throwing down with your boy, pointing to the ground, and letting
Dude,
go.
I can tell you one thing, right? When Leo gets going, Leo gets going. And I mean, first thing in the morning, Daddy, bang, what's up? All right, let's go. Like, you want to be on your toes. You want to keep that guard up high. The second he starts going, Popeye, bang, bang, first thing in the morning at 6 o'clock, I'm like, let's do it. I'm ready to go. So, yeah, he's the best training partner a man could ask for.
I love it. I mean, look at that. Who knows? Maybe a second-generation champion on the way.
Dude, it'd be pretty cool. I'd hope through all of my success that he finds maybe something else, like a golf or a soccer or anything. But if he wants to do this, at least I've made the best connections in the world, and he'll have a great inspiration to lead him to the title.
I think that's a good mindset. Let's talk a little bit about Shavkat. Now, this was a super interesting sort of journey that we got here from, him versus Belal and you versus Buckley to this point. You have been very adamant about wanting to fight the best of the best in this division. At the same time, I know that you and your team are very thoughtful in your approach to your career. So walk me through some of the risk-reward management that's taking place in real time when you get this offer to take a different fight on short notice against a guy like Shavkat, who you have so much respect for.
Let's do it. I had a fight booked that I said yes to fight Joaquin Buckley. December 14th, Tampa Bay, Florida, main event. Joaquin is a short, stocky power puncher. I call him a runner. He runs straight through you, whether you like it or not, he's going to run. He is dangerous. He's one of the best fighters on the planet. He's ranked in the top 15 for a reason. He's very talented, and he can absolutely go out there and beat anyone in the top 15. That is how good everyone in this division is. Now, the risk of fighting him is I get, knocked out, or I beat him, and I go and I have to go up and fight someone in the top 5 anyway.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the risk, is I get beaten, or I go out and beat him and I'm fighting someone in the top 5 anyway. The risk and the reward for taking a short notice fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov is I get beaten, or I'm the number 1 contender fighting for the welterweight world title next. So both of the risks are the same. I'm fighting one of the best fighters in the division, regardless of who the name is. But the stakes for me are bigger. The reward for the Shavkat fight is bigger. The excitement for the Shavkat fight is bigger. So it's a clear no-brainer. Go take on what people say is the boogeyman. Go out there, find a way to beat him, cement yourself as the number 1 contender in the world, and then go take that belt from Belal Muhammad and do what you said you were going to do from the second you started this, that you were going to be a world champion in the UFC. And that's it. It's called fate. It's called destiny. And I'm just enjoying every second of it.
Do you think it was responsible or wise of Shavkat to take this fight with you, considering that he had a title shot lined up?
I mean, I can't speak for him and his decisions. If he wanted to take this fight, he wanted to fight and stay active. I mean, if I was preparing for a fight and my opponent fell through, I would want to do everything in my possibility, in my opportunity, to try and get a replacement. But there is people on this planet that would have sat and waited, and you have to give him all the respect in the world for taking this fight, because he didn't actually have to, which is what makes him even more badass.
I've always really enjoyed our conversations, but I know that there's like a portion of the audience that you irk, and I feel like I'm starting to see that tone shift a little bit. I think there was a lot of people who respected that you took this fight against Shavkat. I think there are people who are starting to see your role as a father kind of shine through in some of these clips. Do you feel like you're starting to get a wider range of respect relative to before you took this fight?
I definitely see a lot more love since I've taken this fight, and people have noticed that I'm a badass and I'm willing to face the best in the world, and I'm not just out here chatting shit like the Colby Covingtons of the world. I'm backing it up, and I'm willing to put my record on the line. You know, my ego to a certain extent. I'm willing to put everything I've built up on the line for myself, for the fan base, and for that opportunity to go out there and earn that number one contender spot. But realistically, like I've said before, love me or hate me, I'm going to be a champion whether people like it or not. So I don't give it much thought. Mm-hmm. I do me and I do what I enjoy. I'm living my best life. I'm living the dream that I dreamt of as a young kid, to be one of the best fighters in the world and be this close to achieving that dream of being a UFC world champion. I'm one fight away from getting that opportunity.
Ian, this next question is going to be admittedly a bit more difficult. You've mentioned many times about your admiration for Conor McGregor and shaping your career in some ways around his. You also kind of spoke out against Neil Magny and some of his comment about violence towards children. Has Conor McGregor's liability for civil rape in Ireland at all impacted the way you see him?
I don't believe there's a positive article that can be wrote from my response. So I would prefer not to answer it.
All right. That is your right, and I respect it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
What would you say is the one skill or advantage you have over every other welterweight in this division? Everyone has their strong suit. What is the one element which Ian Machado Garry is untouchable in?
Fight IQ.
Okay.
I just have it. It's in my brain. The way I plan, the way I prep, the way I see the vision I possess, I believe it's unmatched.
Joaquin Buckley, who, like we mentioned, you were scheduled to fight prior, he actually predicted that you're going to beat Shavkat, although he wasn't the most complimentary in how he described it. I'm sure you've seen some of the quotes. He said basically you'd beat him by staying safe and surviving. Is that a compliment or not?
Did he say I was going to beat him?
He said you were going to beat him by the skin of your teeth, yes.
Well, then there you go.
Okay, I like it.
I don't care if by the skin in my teeth. I don't care if it's an absolute slugfest and I've gotten dropped 6 times. If I get my hand raised, I've done my job. That's all that matters to me. It doesn't matter how it's done. As long as my hand gets raised, that's my job. My job is to go out there and win and put on a show.
You've spoken even in this interview about sort of Colby Covington and how peculiarly he appeared out of seemingly thin air to take this Buckley fight. You also said
he wasn't available to fight me. He wasn't available to fight me, gentlemen. The same date. In the same main event that it was originally scheduled for, he wasn't available. Fucking mental.
Would you be willing to share any of the other fights that were proposed to you but that were turned down?
It was first Colby Covington, ran, came up with every excuse in the book. Kamaru Usman, ran, doesn't want any of this smoke. They mentioned it to other fighters that, again, I don't know what necessarily their response is, but it just seems to be a lot of people that are disappointing and people you would think would be, former champions and the best in the world, just not willing to, step into the octagon. And at the end of the day, Joaquin Buckley said yes, and then obviously Shavkat needed someone, and I said yes to Shavkat, and here we are. So it is what it is.
There are, some of these old guards who are not seeing compete as much. I am curious, how would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10 the future of the welterweight division? There's you, Shavkat, Joaquin, Jack, yeah.
I think it's very exciting. I think you've definitely got the new wave of welterweights coming through. You've got, Belal's the champion. You've got Shavkat. You've got Jack Della Maddalena, myself. You've got likes of a Sean Brady. Boring, but he's good. You've got the likes of Michael Morales, Carlos Prates. You've got all of these guys, and there's going to be more. You've got Bonfim, Fakhretdinov. You've got these guys that are just going to start coming up, and they just have to put a couple wins together, and it's going to be exciting. So as someone who is going to win that title in the next 6 to 8 months, it's exciting to see the potential opponents I could face and defend my belt against, and I look forward to it.
Should you beat Shavkat Rakhmonov? I know
When?
Belal is... Gotta keep, you know I like you, so I gotta keep my impartiality as best that I can, Ian. I know Belal is cleared to start training again. What would be your perfect scenario for when that title fight happens?
I think International Fight Week 2025. I think he's going to obviously have Ramadan, so that will put him out until the end of March, and then give him a little bit of an opportunity, get back into it and not have to be fasted and enjoy the benefits of Ramadan, which is to let the body have some time off.
How nice of you.
And huh?
How nice of you. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then leave no excuses. You know what I mean? International Fight Week 2025. Me versus Belal. Charles versus Islam. Boom, baby. Shoot the box versus Team Khabib. Let's go.
I like it.
That's what we want. That's what we need.
Last two questions here for you. First, since you teed it up, unless it was fake news, I didn't get a chance to verify, Charles Oliveira will be in your corner for this fight, correct? Tell me a little bit about Charles Oliveira, the coach, because we see some fighters make poor coaches, some poor fighters make great coaches. Sometimes you get the perfect combination. What's Stu Bronx like as a coach?
So I don't think of him as a coach. I think of him as a friend. I think of him as someone who's a very talented fighter. Obviously, he's the number one contender in the world now in that division. He is going to be next in line for the belt once that fight happens between, I believe it's Islam and Sarukian. Am I correct?
Sorry?
I believe Islam and Sarukian are fighting next to that belt, right?
That has been widely reported and believed by Sarukian as well. So I think that's what's going to happen.
I believe that will be next. And then Charles is fighting the winner. He is one of the best in the world, and he has a lot of great knowledge and great tips. I think of him more as a friend and an amazing energy, and I'm excited to have him in my corner for that energy. It's transferable. He's different. He's special.
Hey, I'm feeling his energy through you. Ian Machado Garry, thank you so much for doing this today. I want to let you have the last word. So very quickly, guys, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, tap the bell, thumbs up. Give us your official prediction. Shavkat Rakhmonov, Ian Machado Garry, the co-main event of UFC 310. Ian, if there's anything you want to tell the people, I'll let you have the last word, man.
Undefeated, undeniable, unstoppable, and unbeatable. I will win by any means necessary December 7th, and I will be the number one contender, and I will go and win that title next year. I am going to be the champion of the division. The future is inevitable. Just enjoy the show. Where are you going, you mad spoon? You want to come in and say hello?
He's welcome to join the interview. It's no problem.
Sorry, he's running in with his ping pong.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Listen. I love you more than anything. Okay, I love you more than anything. Daddy has to do some work. Would you like to say hello? Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Say hi.
Hello. Oh,
what do you want to say?
What a sweet smile.
Pond. That's not a pond. That's a pool.
Quite vocal, just like his father.
Yeah, exactly. Look, he's got a pool and the jacuzzi in the background, and he's trying to point it out to you and let you know that Leo's living a good life. I'm living a good life. Listen to me. Eu te amo você, vai com a mamãe. Papai acabou entrevistas depois. É assim, entende? Eu te amo muito, mano. I love you.